Hey buddy, Crow back again, looking at another Pinball Arcade table. We're looking at here, Stern Pack 3. We already looked at Big Buck Hunter Pro, and now we're going back. We're going to look at Whoa Nellie, which is Whoa Mel. I thought the whole name of it was Whoa Nellie, Big Juicy Melons. Now it says Stern 2015, but that's not exactly true. The table is actually made in 2011 by, let's see here. I have to cheat and look it up, by Whiz Bang Pinball, and then Stern got the rights to mass produce it. So we're getting the Stern version. And what's funny is I always thought that this was a EM table, electromechanical table, but it's a solid state table that looks like
beautiful day on the farm.
it's an EM table that looks like, I'm sorry, it's a solid state table that looks like an electromechanical table. Whoa Nellie, Big Juicy Melons 2015, aka 2011, is a retro styled table that challenges players to score points on the Melon family farm, operated by a lovely Melanie Melon and her twin sisters. Designed by Dennis Nordham, this is a colorful, easy-to-learn game featuring classically styled playfield tuned for a balance of randomness and skilled shooting challenges. A unique feature of this table is that it rests on a weathered fruit crate base instead of a standard set of pinball legs. Now, that's not exactly true either. I think you can buy this table on a regular pinball legs and get a cheaper version of it, but you could spend the extra money to get the fruit crate base. Now, I may be wrong, but I was pretty sure you could buy a cheaper version. To finally adjust the playfield angle, crushed beer cans branded Whoa Nellie were included with the game to place in between the cabinet and the crate, or owners could use their own beer cans. And you know what? It'd be really nice if we could look around this table and see that stuff, but I already know that I can't. Why can't I? Why can't I look around the table? Hey there, Todd. So, wow, that's really bright. But there it is, Whoa Nellie, Big Juicy Melons. I have played this table. I've played it several times. It showed up several times at the Pinball Expo when I've gone. And I've played it like every time. It is a fun table to play. It plays like an EM table, but it is solid state. Even you can see that the score is on reels, and that's why I thought it was an EM table, but nope. Alright, before we get to any gameplay, there's a couple nitpicks I have to get out of the way first. The first is, if you remember in that description, they made a big deal about the pinball machine being put on crates. Well, without a way to look around the table or anything, you'd never know that. In fact, the only way you could actually see that is if you go into the instructions and look at the introduction, and only on page 7 of the introduction can you get a zoomed out view of the table like this to see it on crates. And the other one is a slightly bigger nitpick, but another thing that it mentioned are these mechanical score reels. Yes, the original table does have these mechanical score reels, much like an EM machine, which is one of the reasons why I thought it was an EM machine to begin with. But it makes a special point of it, even in the instructions here on page 3. Hey, look, mechanical score reels. But that's not what you get when you play the game. In fact, you get a DMD, and in fact, when I first saw it, this was my genuine reaction during the stream to that. If it'll start. Oh, they put Doc's Matrix there. Why did they do that? Yeah, I have no idea why they did that, but that leads into another nitpick. If you look at the score wheel, you can see that there are only 4 digits, and one of the standard goals is to get 3,000 points, and one of the wizard goals is to roll the score wheel. That is to score 10,000 points or more. But if you look at the high score list, in order to get on the high score list, which is an achievement, and usually it's not a difficult achievement, you can see that the lowest score is 100,000 points. In fact, you have to roll the score reel at least 10 times in order to get on the high score list. Now, I don't know if that's something they might change in the future or something that may have already been changed, but that is just a gross oversight. to where like 99% of the people will never be able to do that. And while we're talking about nitpicks, just one other nitpick. For some reason, there's some sort of glitch in this game to where if you're playing a game and you don't like the way your game's going and you want to exit the game and start it again, if you quit the game and go to start a new game, the table just sits there and won't start. The only way to restart a game is to actually go back out into the main menu and start it again from there. Very annoying, just these kind of irritating bugs, and in a table that I really, really, really like. And what we're gonna do now is actually switch over to some lighting options for the game, like I should have done a couple minutes ago, but I just had to get these nitpicks right out of the way, right out the gate. So we're going to start out with looking at some lighting in the standard lighting when you first boot up the game. This is going to be the lighting you're going to see. This is 50% room lighting, 50% bulb lighting, and I gotta say, this looks far too bright for me. It is just like, it's so bright that even the flippers down at the bottom there, they're kind of being washed out. Some of the watermelons are being washed out near the flippers. It's a little bit better up near the top of the table, but otherwise this is just way too bright. And what I'm going to switch to now is I just turn the brightness settings all the way down and I set up some glow balls. And the first glow ball I used here was the green one. I think I chose green just because it kind of looked like a kind of a radioactive watermelon. And since this is a game about melons, in your interpretations welcomed on that. I guess it would have been fun to have like a watermelon kind of floating around. So, very dark table. You're still able to see a lot of stuff. Maybe just a little bit too dark. Like I said, I set it all the way down to 0, just the way you could see everything kind of, big and bright. But that's not the only glow ball I used. For a bit of contrast, I thought I'd try the pink ball or the red ball. I don't know. Here, what color you see it as. I see this as a pink ball, like maybe even a bright pink ball, but I've heard some people say that this is red. Then again, maybe it's just a problem I have seeing colors. I don't know. But the whole point is I just kind of wanted to see a bright reddish pinkish ball flying around the table. I did kind of stop it here with the experimentation, but as I was playing I realized that there was an actual watermelon ball I could use. So what we're actually looking at here is the lighting that I typically like to use. That is 20% room lighting, 30% bulb lighting. And the ball is kind of like this greenish metallic watermelon ball, but it's kind of moving around really fast. It is kind of hard to tell. I mean, when it does stop, you can kind of tell it's got that a dark green metallic tint to it. That's supposed to be the watermelon ball. Now, I don't know if I've always had this ball sitting there or if that's a ball that actually came with this table. I wouldn't be surprised if it did come with the table, but I also wouldn't be surprised if I did have a watermelon ball sitting in my inventory. Anyway, I don't typically use anything other than the glow balls, but I thought it would have been interesting to have this actual watermelon bouncing around this watermelon themed table, or rather it's just a melon themed table. Many different kinds of melons. Anyway, this is a really fun table. I'm going to cut now to the best game I had during the stream. The call outs on this table are hilarious. The gameplay is simple and fun. So after I show my best game, I will come back with my final thoughts on this table.
Time to pick some melons. Hey! These here melons are hand-picked.
I'm hitting all the targets when they're not lit again. Like right there.
Whoa Nellie.
There we go. There we go. Come on, there we go. There it is.
You got them all lit.
And it is in there. Yes.
It's stopping time, y'all.
Stopping time, y'all. So now we got flashing rollovers. I really want to get those.
Melons.
I grew them myself.
Shit. I gotta stop doing that because that just leads to trouble.
Bloody melons.
Woo! Oh, I nudged the wrong way. Could this be it?
You got
All four of them.
Watermelons.
Ah, man. That's a disappointment.
Hole in the bucket by Lee King.
But you know what? I think just by getting the turkey again, I'll get them flashing again. Perfect.
Woohoo! Let's thump.
Man, get up there. Okay, we got one. Let's see if we can get more.
Cantaloupes.
Ah. Not what I was going for, but at least did the drain. There's two. Shoot! Oh man, I thought I was draining that ball. Come on. Woo! Whoa! Ball's going a bit crazy. Replay. Nice. So I got my 3,000. Want another 1,000. That's my goal here. There we go. Ah, well, was worth a shot there.
Yep, he's a rock all right.
Woo! Shoot! Oh man, I just blew that.
You're on a roll.
Keeping the music rolling on WDD. Fly poop in the pepper by Still Picking.
What? Okay, there we go.
It's stopping time, y'all.
Stomping time again. I think I got my 4,000. Yep, I got my 4,000.
Honeydews.
Honey, don'ts! No! No, it's actually the second time I got the replay, and I think that's gonna be it for now, because my goal was really to get over 4,000. And as we close out this video, I will say that I had a fantastic time playing this table. I did play this one in real life. I played it almost once a year at every pinball expo that I've gone to since 2011, which was, I think, the first time I've seen this table before Stern started producing it. Maybe I didn't know that it actually had actual callouts. Maybe they weren't implemented at the time, or maybe the volume was down too low. So I really wasn't even aware of all that stuff. I think the music may have been there, but that's one of the reasons why I thought this might have been been an EM table, but when you do play it like this, it becomes fairly obvious that it is a solid state table. Now, I've gone through a whole bunch of nitpicks and everything. The only thing I had real trouble with on this table is getting the skill shot, but on tables like this where it's the skill shot is plunger based, I have a tendency to have a really hard time with those using an analog stick for the plunger. It seems like I can always get it to be too short or way too hard. I can't get it to get in between, so getting that skill shot standard goal was a bit of a pain for me, but I did it once or twice in the 2 hour, I think it was like 2.5 hours I might have played this table. It was that much fun, and it was that much fun trying to get a score of over 4,000. I highly recommend this table. Now, I didn't mention at the beginning of the video, but this is in a bundle with Big Buck Hunter Pro. For both tables, it's kind of a steep price, $14.99. I think you can buy the tables individually, at least on Steam. At least there was the option for it. I could be wrong about that, but I swear that you can do that. And though I don't know what the prices for this separately is, because I only checked the Big Buck Hunter Pro price, and I could swear that was like $9.99, and it was $14.99 for the bundle. So it's safe to say that this would be between $4.99 and $9.99 if you were to buy it separately. If on whatever platform you're playing this on has that option. I know this will be coming to other platforms, but for starters, it's only on Steam, iOS, and Android devices, just because those are the platforms where it's easier to get things out quicker. But this will be coming to other platforms. What will there be next for Farsight Studios with Pinball Arcade? Who knows? They didn't have any sort of hint as to what would be next, so it might be some time before the next table. In fact, you know what? I just realized this is the 100th video I've done for the Pinball Arcade. Unfortunately, the Pinball Arcade no longer has 100 tables. In fact, this is the 49th table you could buy since 61 of them were removed. But this is the 100th video I've done on the Pinball Arcade for individual tables, so I might have to make a video or something about that sometime in the future. I got my ideas. Whether or not I actually follow through with it or not, that remains to be seen. Anyway, I'm going to end this video now. If you liked what you've seen, like the video if you haven't done so already. And if you liked it and you have not subscribed, I do have plenty of videos just like this for Pinball Arcade, Pinball FX, and Zaccaria Pinball, as well as maybe some other more stuff to come in the future, and plenty of other videos I've done in the past. So with all that said, I'm going to end it here. Thanks for watching. See you all next time.